96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The police say rape is taken seriously by the police force. Assistant Commissioner assuring that there's no double standard in probing the allegation made against an MP. A regional leader asking, quote, do Bahamian judges live on Mars? For granting bail to people accused of murder. And the government reports a $16.2 million surplus for February. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I am Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning in business, it's our monthly segment with Bristol Wines and Spirits. They're going to be joining us this morning with always something very special. That's coming up at our 9 o'clock hour. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Assistant Commissioner of Police Bernard K. Bonamy saying that police are taking seriously a rape allegation made by a woman against a sitting member of parliament and won't be pressured by social media on how to conduct its investigation. Bonamy also saying police have not yet interviewed the MP in question, but intend to do so once they get to the appropriate point in their investigation. Bonamy saying yesterday, quote, all matters reported to the police we take seriously. We did receive a complaint by a female who made an allegation against a sitting MP. The matter, we want to do it in a professional manner, and that is why I said we will do our inquiries. We do our inquiries, and the inquiries contain so many things, I don't want to go into that. Bonamy did not name the MP in question. The woman who made the complaint against him has been speaking to other sectors in the media, outlining in explicit details what she alleges happened. Her story has been shared thousands of times online. The widespread reporting on the matter has fueled a torrent of calls for the allegations to be treated seriously by police, and also claims the police are foot-dragging because the allegation is against a PLP MP. Bonamy says this is simply untrue. A regional leader asking whether Bahamian judges, quote, live on Mars, as he was questioned how courts could grant bail to people accused of murder. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, who took part in a roundtable discussion with other CARICOM leaders, including Prime Minister Philip Davis, said there needs to be a discussion about the judiciary when attempting to tackle the wave of violence seen across the Caribbean. Gonzalez saying on Monday, quote, "There is in aspects of our judiciary a creeping lack of awareness as to some of the problems which we face. How can you give somebody who was charged with murder bail? Let's be serious. How can you do that? I saw in the numbers from the Bahamas where those judges live, on Mars." Well, that discussion was part of CARICOM's regional symposium to address crime and violence as a public health issue, which was held in Trinidad and Tobago. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander gave a presentation on Bahamian crime statistics earlier in the day. Fernander noted that of the 128 murders committed in 2022, 34 of the victims were on bail. He said that 35 suspects who were on bail committed murders in 2022. A man accused of killing 4-year-old Kenton Seymour Jr. while trying to shoot someone else has been committed to stand trial in the Supreme Court. Shanton Monroe yesterday received the evidence that the prosecution will present against him to support charges of murder, attempted murder, and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. Monroe, who's on remand, will be arraigned in the Supreme Court on October 13th in relation to the July 26th, 2022 incident. Prosecutors that allege that Monroe was shooting at Deshano Joseph on Fleming Street when Kenton Jr. was shot as his parents drove him to an ice cream shop. Monroe is charged with Little Kenton's murder, as well as the attempted murders of his parents, Kenton Seymour Sr. and Norma Smith, and that of Joseph. He's also charged with possession of a firearm with intent to endanger the lives of Seymour Smith and Joseph. Government is not considering a 4-day work week, with Labor Minister Keith Bell asserting that the only focus and concentration should be matching productivity with the increase in the minimum wage. Bell asked about this, saying it's not something they're considering. Pilot 4-day workweek programs, though, have been launched in countries around the world, including Iceland, Ireland, Canada, and New Zealand, during a large-scale 4-day workweek study involving employees from 60 firms in the United Kingdom. 92% of employers said they would keep the reduced hours. On the other hand, the study pointed out that the 4-day workweek model does not work for everybody. Some businesses need to operate 5 days per week and would have to hire extra staff to cover the 5th day. And the Ministry of Finance reporting a surplus of $16.2 million during February 2023, a $49.3 million reversal from the $33.1 million deficit in the prior year. In its monthly fiscal report released yesterday, the ministry said this was due to a $249.2 million in revenue receipts and $232.9 million in total expenditure. Central government's net debt decreased during the period by $8.5 million, a $124.3 million decrease from the prior year as a result of $260.2 million in borrowings and $268.8 million in repayments. Overseas explosions and heavy gunfire rattling the Sudanese capital in a 5th day of fighting after an internationally brokered truce quickly fell apart. The ceasefire failure today suggested the two rival generals fighting for control of the country were determined to crush each other in a potentially prolonged conflict, with no sign of respite. Despite desperate and terrified Sudanese who have been trapped for days in their homes by the violence are starting to flee. Residents of multiple neighborhoods of Khartoum, the capital, telling the Associated Press that they could see hundreds, including women and children, carrying luggage, some leaving by foot, others crowding into vehicles. They're telling us that Khartoum has become a ghost city. The generals' fight for power has caught millions in Sudan in the crossfire as their forces have battled it out since Saturday with heavy machine guns, artillery, and airstrikes in residential neighborhoods. At least 270 people have been killed in the past 5 days, according to the United Nations, but the toll is likely higher since many bodies have been left in the streets, unreachable because of clashes. A 24-hour ceasefire was to have been in effect from sundown Tuesday to sundown Wednesday. It was the most concrete attempt yet to bring a pause that it was hoped could be expanded into a longer truce. And the death toll from a fire at a Beijing hospital. has risen now to 29, including 26 patients. Authorities say a dozen people had been detained, including the hospital's head and her deputy. The fire broke out at the private Changfeng Hospital on Tuesday afternoon and forced dozens of people to evacuate. Some who were trapped had to escape from windows using bed sheets tied together. A nurse, a medical assistant, and a family member also died in the incident. The cause of the fire is under investigation, but officials say they believe it originated from welding sparks from work being done in the hospital's inpatient wing. Among the 12 people who were detained was the head of the construction crew. A total of 39 people are being treated for injuries, 3 of them in critical condition. Rescue crews and medical staff from around the city were mobilized with squads plucking some of the 142 people who were evacuated from air conditioning units on the building's exterior. In sports, the second day of the 2023 Interschool Golf Championships wrapping up with the private primary schools, small schools, and homeschooled children in action at the Bahamas Golf Federation's 9-hole facility at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center yesterday. There were 6 schools that competed in the upper primary school boys division. In the end, it was the team of William West, Leonardo Bizterzo, and Hugo Johnston from Windsor School at Old Fort Bay that won. They finished with a team score of 107. Finishing second was St. Andrew's International School with a score of 117. And coming in third was King's College, which scored 122. You can read more about how they did in today's Guardian Sports section. Sydney Clark and Alana Mackey closing out their collegiate tennis regular season with wins. And Clark will prepare for Conference USA Championships set to get underway Thursday in tennis. Clark and the University of Alabama at Birmingham Blazers heading into the 2023 CUSA Tennis Championships after enduring the regular season with a 6-1 victory over Middle Tennessee State University Blue Raiders Saturday. The Blazers finished the season with a 9-9 win-loss record and a 2-2 CUSA record. Mackey and the Mars Hill University Lions finished the season with an 8-12, with their final victory being a 4-3 triumph over the Coker University Cobras on Monday. The Lions are out of playoff contention, though, in the South Atlantic Conference. And parents of the Bahamian Carifta Triathlon and Aquathlon teams are continuing to express concerns about a lack of road safety for cyclists and runners here in the Bahamas. The qualifying events for Carifta 2023 are now taking place from March to May, and the training locations to prepare for the Carifta qualifying events are still subject to safety issues from motorists who are not aware or appear to be insensitive to these young athletes training on their bicycles and running on the sides of the road. According to the group of parents, they are calling for road safety signs to be placed at strategic locations where the athletes train the most to help motorists develop a sense of awareness and protection for the athletes and other road users most vulnerable to direct injuries from contact with vehicles. Read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, the Phoenix Suns beating the LA Clippers. They have evened their series now. Devin Booker scoring 38 points. Durant added 25, and the Suns beat the Clippers 123-109. Again, their Western Conference first-round series even at 2 apiece. And the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the New York Knicks 107-90 to even their series at 1 apiece. More from the NBA. Golden State forward Draymond Green has been suspended for 1 game without pay for stepping on the chest of Sacramento's Domantas Sabonis he will miss Game 3 of the Warriors' first-round playoff series Thursday night. The NBA making the announcement late Tuesday, 2 days before the series shifts to the defending champions' home court at Chase Center. The NBA making that announcement of a decision by Executive Vice President and Head of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars. The release said that the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Golden State trailed the best of 7 series 2-0, the first time during the Stephen Curry era that the Warriors have been down by 2 games in their last 28 playoff series. And from the NFL, having spent the past several months meeting President Joe Biden, raising millions of dollars for his charitable foundation, and promoting the benefits of CPR training, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin can now focus on the next big objective in his life, returning to football. Hamlin sitting at the podium Tuesday saying that his heart, the one that had stopped beating some 4 months ago during a game in Cincinnati, was, quote, still in the game. Addressing reporters for the first time since going into cardiac arrest and having to be resuscitated on the field, Hamlin reflected on the anxious moments he endured, his inner drive to not let fear stand in his way, and how he no longer takes a minute of his life for granted. General Manager Brandon Beane announcing earlier in the day that Hamlin has been medically cleared to return to football after the 25-year-old met with a third and final specialist on Friday. All 3 agreed that Hamlin could resume playing without any fear of setbacks or complications, while the Bills had their head athletic trainer sit in on those meetings. Beane says that the team is following the lead of the specialists. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Time for your first look at weather, brought to you by Scotia Digital Saturdays. Here's what's happening. We've got a frontal boundary extending across the southeast Bahamas now. That's going to continue to generate some cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern islands. High pressure centered north of the area will promote mostly dry and breezy conditions across the northwest and central Bahamas as it gradually slides eastward through tonight. Got some special warnings, though. Boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas should be alert as there's a threat of waterspout and funnel cloud activity. There's also a marginal risk for a few strong thunderstorms and a chance for some localized flooding in low-lying areas during locally heavy rainfall. Beachgoers and swimmers in the northwest and central islands should also stay out of the water. There's a risk of rip currents along north and east coast beaches. Your forecast for today for the northwest and central Bahamas, partly sunny and breezy today with a slight chance of a spotty shower. Becoming mostly fair, breezy, and mild tonight. Smallcraft operators should exercise caution. Winds northeasterly at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong at times. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in showers and thunderstorms. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your first look at traffic brought to you by Scotia Digital Saturdays. Do you need help using Scotia Online, the Scotia mobile app, or the ATM? Well, Scotia Digital Saturdays is here to help. For 4 Saturdays during the month of April, Scotiabank will open select branches between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. to give additional support for people requiring help navigating the various digital platforms and to provide tips on banking safely. Join Scotia Digital Saturdays. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for branches and dates.
Wake up
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
You know that it started off the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
RBC will soon be celebrating 115 years in the Caribbean.
Inspiring us to continue to look forward for better ways to support you.
So we're making changes to serve you the best we can.
And continue to listen to your needs. We want to be clear
that we will continue to strive for better.
To look forward to you being our customers, community, partners, and employees.
Working together as our parents and even our grandparents did.
A chain of islands with a common horizon.
RBC, committed and invested in the region now and into the future.
At Doctors Hospital, our lamp just got brighter. The Loyalty Advantage membership program now has 3 unique plans to choose from. From Lamp Prepaid with free prime care visits and service line discounts, Lamp Insured with copay waivers and 0 upfront collections at the ER and inpatient services, or our new Lamp Access, a free plan that offers 10% off labs, pharmacy, and imaging. Lamp has a plan for everyone. To sign up, visit our website or give us a call. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Jet off to the basketball playoffs with your Scotiabank credit card. You could be courtside in the middle of the action with an all-expenses-paid trip, plus airfare, spending money, and accommodations to the next basketball playoffs. Just apply for any Scotia credit card, spend $120 or more on a purchase, or use our Scotia Select Pay installment plan to win a slam-dunk trip to the next basketball playoffs, courtesy of your Scotia credit card. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. And text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, joined today, as every Wednesday, by Chester Robards.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chester. Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Okay, wonderful stuff. A lot to get to this morning in the news, and later in Morning Blend Business, we'll lighten things up a little bit. We'll be talking with our friends at Bristol Wines and Spirits. It's that time of the month, yep. So we're looking forward to that. But let's get into it with what's in the news. And in the news, two big stories I want to get into this morning. The big headline, police, they say they take rape claims very seriously, and they're assuring the public there's no double standard in their probe of the allegation made against a PLP MP. And then coming out of the CARICOM crime conference in Trinidad, after the Bahamas presented its stats, apparently a regional leader, after hearing how many people were killed out on bail.
I just knew how excited you would be to see that.
But he's blaming the wrong people. The poor judge is like, what did we do? No, it's not entirely them. It's our lawmakers, people he was sitting right next to, right? But he's asking, do Bahamian judges live on Mars? For granting bail to people accused of murder. Well, Bahamians ask that all the time, but it's our lawmakers who clearly, maybe not even Mars, Jupiter? Or Neptune? Or
the moon?
Or the one that begins...
They don't have to go that far.
The one that begins with you that you shouldn't say on the air? Maybe that's where they...
What do you mean you can't say it on the air?
Don't say it. But that might be the planet they're from, because it just is mind-boggling. But we'll get to that a little bit later. And we wonder how many years and how many people have to die before the pattern becomes so overwhelming that people will say, okay, we may have to do something legally to stop this from happening.
So they had some numbers in there about how many people were on bail who were picked up for murder. What was the number again?
Commissioner Clayton Fernander gave a presentation on the Bahamian crime stats earlier in the day on Monday in Trinidad. Fernander noted that of the 128 murders committed in 2022, 34 of the victims were on bail.
The victims, okay.
He said 35 suspects who were on bail committed murders in 2022.
So all in all, about 60-something people
either became victims or committed a new murder.
Crime. And that's almost half of the number of the people who were murdered.
Apparently, if you're out on bail for murder, you either will murder again or get murdered.
Get murdered.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't think it takes rocket science to
it's pretty clear.
Yeah, to figure that out. And but what are we doing? Yeah. So this is Prime Minister Ralph Gonzalez, I think that's how he pronounces it, of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's just the Bahamian people are living on Mars. It's everybody here.
You got a lot of people out on bail.
Are you? I mean, you got to ask these days.
Everybody's
out on. You ask your mother, are you out on bail?
Man.
You know,
am I out on bail?
I don't understand what's going on around here. That's the you hot thing.
It's like
right?
it's like green, red pill, blue pill. Am I? Yeah, okay.
What? Okay.
Right.
But yeah, it's the thing you do. You know, what type of phone do you have? You team Android, team iPhone, you out on bail? Which one? That's what it is. Oh, boy.
You know, the Matrix. I mean, I just imagine you didn't get my joke. Like, you know.
It was a long time ago.
Maybe if you take the wrong pill and you wake up and find out you're actually out on bail. It's not been real life after all.
Oh, I believe that last part.
All right.
Certainly not real life. But this is a problem now where the laughing stock people asking crazy questions.
Yeah.
While people are dying. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? right? The judges, we've had lawyers on who say this is their hands are tied. This is what the Constitution allows for. You are innocent until proven guilty. We just had a discussion a few weeks ago about how some of these cases are so flimsy is not the right word, but that really determines whether because of the lack of evidence that we can't really justify putting you back in jail.
The conversation also seemed to lean on the Privy Council's ruling, or on a Privy Council ruling.
About what?
About bail. So,
yeah, you sure? I mean, the judge has to use discretion with this evidence, to make a good case,
right?
And also that you will be. That's the main thing, right? That you will return for your next case,
right?
And but again, we're not restricting the movements.
But the evidentiary discretion is something that. So in the case of what Wayne Monroe says time and time again, is that kind of doesn't really make a difference. Again, this was mentioned in that story, I think. If people know that you know your name, know who you are, and that you are suspected of committing a murder, well, you already have a target on your back. So a couple things happening there. He's like, it's a problem. You shouldn't be out because you either might commit another murder or you might get killed. Fine. But the argument then is, if somebody's arrested for something now, do we withhold the name and face of that person? So like which
the streets always know, right?
The streets always know, but I don't know. Do they? Maybe sometimes they know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't
know.
The street know?
The streets know everything, so they say. But you caused me to forget what I was going to say.
It seems like a catch-22. Trying to balance.
Yeah. Oh, right. So again, I've said it before. Right, the ankle bracelet monitoring system was initially designed. You can go back and look at it when it was launched here for minor offenders, minor offenses. Then, right? You maybe did some white collar crime. You maybe took a loaf of bread. I don't know, something minor, and you're supposed to have your movements restricted. And so even if you must grant bail for people out on murder, restrict their movements. They just can't be allowed to go and do all the things they were doing before. We're putting everybody in danger. I know I've heard the arguments about, these people still are, they still have to work.
They got to go fish.
They still have to travel to other islands. We've heard everything. We've heard every excuse, right? But for their safety and for our safety, we need to greatly restrict their movements.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have enough police officers to watch them, but maybe heighten the patrols in their neighborhoods. If they're going to be under house arrest or something like that, I don't know. But but people here have been asking this for a long time. Is everybody from Mars? Why are we still doing this? And they still, every single year, the police say it. The national security minister says it. We've got this problem, bail, people out on bail, and yet here we are, no movement at all. What is going on? Anyway, so we're asking, is everybody from Mars? Indeed. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. 300-5720, or text us 422-4796. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi.
Right.
Good morning.
Morning, George and Chester.
Morning.
Yeah, guys. Let me just get away from this radio. Yeah. We can, man, Dwight, man. Seriously, what we really doing in this town, man, Dwight, man? Because listening to Neil Motley, right? It makes makes me wonder, what are we doing in this town? Because I mean, we can't even hear from our leaders even suggesting no change. when they come to us, they come with us trying to convince us for us to go along with the same old foolishness. Now, we have a host of assembly, right? And for the last 10, 20 years, 30 years, there's no upgrade in our laws, right? You heard the lady was suggesting she's going to do the police department breakdown so she could reconstruct, right? Why are we still playing with the lives of Bahamian people, or they were really trying to see if they could get the Bahamians out of this country by death or whatever? However, because if you're not doing that, right, then there should be some measures put in place showing us that we could see that that our leaders have concern for us, and they have no concern for us. They keep talking and talking and talking and talking, right? But they ain't doing nothing, right? And don't care. And I believe, Dwight, if we don't see a change, and a drastic one, right? If we don't see a change from this status quo atmosphere that we live inside in this country, I mean, hey, we might as well just give. We just might as well just give up, because our leaders, our leaders is our problem. You know, Haitian is our problem, right? You know, criminals is our problem. Our leaders is our problem because they refuse to put laws in place to keep all of these things at bay. Okay. They refuse to do it, and none of them are saved. But they believe that all we have to do is just pray and talk about things, and it can change. Yeah, and it don't work that way. You guys have
Definitely
a nice
day. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So more from what the what was said at this conference. It wasn't just Prime Minister Gonzalez who said this. Remarked on this, right? But this is what he said as well. He said, quote, too many of our judges and our magistrates are too soft, speaking about judges in the region. Right? He said, quote, sometimes you get the impression that some magistrates, depending on who is the lawyer, their people seem to get a better treatment, their clients. Whoa. Okay.
We've heard that before from callers and stuff.
Everybody talks about this, you know, but they talk about it behind closed doors. You don't hear it from a prime minister. They certainly have not. Well, let us begin to talk about these things too. All of these matters touch and concern how we are going to address this question. Now, it was, as the caller said, it was initially Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley who first raised the issue during the discussion on Monday. She said, quote, when I practiced law, nobody got bail for murder. People did not get bail for murder. Now, when I look at the stats, not just out of the Bahamas, but in Barbados and all through the region, the people who are causing the greatest problems are charged with 2, 3, and 4 murders. Something is fundamentally wrong. Motley said Caribbean countries must ask how they intend to meet this challenge that is undermining the rule of law in our countries. She said, quote, we are going to have to find ways of cooperating from the level of the police to the level of the courts, but in particular forensics. Now, in the Bahamas, the issue of bails remain controversial. Suspects have a constitutional right to be tried within a reasonable period. However, successive administrations have lamented that the judicial system has been plagued by a chronic backlog of cases, preventing many suspects from getting early trial dates. Many end up on bail. But we've seen this. That is not the issue. It's not that you've been held so long. People are getting bail within months. Yeah. Months. Weeks. So, you know, we keep saying that, and I think maybe that's what you're talking about with the Privy Council, saying it must be tried in a reasonable time. But that's not the reason why people are on bail with 3 murders. Not around here.
Maybe our bail settings are a bit low, too.
Something's wrong. This texter says, Dwight, hopefully you are not falsely accused of a triple homicide and don't need bail. I want to see you speak the same way then. Yeah, okay.
I can't imagine that.
But yeah, well, if I was accused, anyway. Boy, triple at one time or 3 consecutive ones? Because
you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I mean, I don't understand why. Because let's be reasonable. I mean, it's not. Let me not say what I have to say here. Thank you for your concern, texter. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, this is Chester, yes.
Okay.
I'll take
it. The first thing is that this society, is something wrong with us. All them, the last caller was saying that he ain't the criminal law problem. He ain't this, he ain't that. He ain't the leaders either. The problem is me and you and him. Because we keep electing the same people over and over for 50 years and doing the same thing over, and it's called insanity. Ain't only that. Why can't, if somebody is suspected of doing something, like this alleged, this MP, why they can't call his name with respect to what he may be suspected of? Why are we so secretive in this society? Mm-hmm. Why are we so secretive? If Dwight is suspected of doing something, you ain't got to say Dwight Jazz. You can say Dwight is suspected in this crime.
That's very serious. Why would you do that?
Yeah, but the only way you don't call a name Dwight is if the person is underage.
No.
Now, if he is suspected, we can use the word suspected.
No.
If he is alleged, we can use the word alleged.
No.
If he has been charged, we could say this person has been charged. But why got to be so secretive, hiding him like he under 16 or 17?
Because he hasn't been charged.
He is suspected.
But not charged.
And he's suspected of something.
No,
that doesn't mean he charged
listen,
or we slandering his name.
We suspect a lot of people of being involved in foolishness. If you say that and you have no evidence, you will get yourself in big problems.
But Dwight, if the police singles Dwight out, we want to question Dwight. Why we can't say the police want to question Dwight? Why we got to be so secretive about that?
They usually say that.
Dwight gets off.
They usually say that when they can't find Dwight, right? So that's if they know where you are, they're not going to say that. But if they can't find you, they'd say that. They are doing an investigation. When they are done, whatever comes out of that, they'll make everybody calm down. They're going to get to it.
Yeah, but you let that be the little PC fella from over there. They'll be called before, but listen.
Are you sure?
I agree with that judge.
I don't think his name would be. His name wouldn't be charged. His name wouldn't be all over the place unless people put his name all over the place, which is what's happening.
Well, I agree with that official in the Caribbean to a certain extent, but it ain't how judges would live on the opposite planet. It's the people, because we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean,
there's a reason you see in our stories that an individual is assisting police.
Yeah, because I mean,
Dwight is assisting police.
Right. Now, anyway, I mean, everybody seems to know who it is. So, I mean, is that not enough?
Well, like you say, the streets know.
They're right. So,
ain't many streets.
But when there is something to charge the person with, the person will be charged. We'll get to that case, that situation in just a bit. But, boy. Okay. The previous detective who's concerned about me killing 3 people says we need to focus more on family structure as opposed to law. Women want to excrete a flock of children from multiple men and expect the streets to raise them. Well, I mean, if we're considering having children excretions, well, I think...
Well, we know what planet they're from.
Right. And the streets have already done the damage. Good Lord. They go on to say, our issue isn't law, it's the culture. Clean up your house instead of cleaning up the town. Okay, text. I would suggest some therapy for you because something's going on. I don't know what's happening. You have me concerned.
We got to do both at the same time.
Oh, boy, that's a lot. This text here, Dwight, great show. As always, so sad to say nothing will ever change in the country. Just a lot of talk and no change. We need to see more action, less talk. But we are to blame because we allow these lousy leaders to swing us with slogans every time as if they will change anything. It's not a new day, but sad days in this country. Please tell these learned judges and lawmakers that wisdom is proved righteous by its works. That's Matthew 11. Verse 19. Releasing people on bail accused of murder, even multiple murders, to wreak further havoc on society until they are themselves murdered is nothing short of rank stupidity. Don't get mad at this text, fix the problem. Oh, I totally agree with the text. It is absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. But, or maybe part of the plan. Because since the courts can't and the prison can't hold them, and nobody wants to deal with it, you let the streets deal with the people, and then there you go. More business for the
Whose plan
morticians.
is that?
I don't know. More business for the morticians and the suit people. The people who got to put them in a suit, and people come to the funeral dressed up, and you get the T-shirts made up with the face on it. Lots of money being made. So maybe it is the plan. Obviously, if we have this issue going on for years and no one's addressing it, you must like it. No? This person says here, Jamaica gives you no less than 15 years if you're charged with possession of unlicensed guns. This one says, I think the real conversation that needs to be had is the gap between what evidence is needed for an arrest, which is seemingly little, and what may be needed for conviction. Judges use their professional discretion on bail, but if the evidence is weak and a case won't be tried until 2028, it can't be ethical to withhold bail allowances. There are innocent people who are arrested and charged. The idea of no bail sounds good until it's you or your actual relative. Okay, I keep saying it. Well, let's restrict movements. Right? You can't leave this area. You've got to be here. You've got to be back by this time. You've got to, right? And
if you got to go to work, it's work, home, or wherever you
or
are.
Zoom. Yeah, something for their safety, for our safety. Right? People can say, well, you're making them sitting ducks because everyone knows where they live. And
if you're a fisherman, you got to find a dock on a pole.
Or maybe you just have to be a temporary farmer in the backyard until you can get back on the sea. Or maybe you're safer on the sea. I don't know. Okay, this person says it's about time that someone from outside calls out our pathetic judicial system, yikes, because it appears we were petrified at the thought of doing so. All branches of the Bahamian government are collapsing, but we see they can act when they want to. Police are the same. They take rape cases as seriously as they do traffic violators, and we see how great and consistently that is going. This person says this text is for my eyes only. Okay, thank you. This one says here, let me start off by saying I believe any person convicted of rape should be physically or chemically castrated.
Chemically?
Or physically. Meaning evidence was presented against them in a court of law and they were found guilty. What I'm hearing is different regarding the rape allegations against this MP. The public wants him tarred and feathered without due process. So how can I and most men believe a fair process will be had if we should believe all women? Now pivot to the marital rape picture. I believe the evidence, not emotions. Okay. When Vardo from the Grove is suspected of anything, his name is plastered across the media. Nope. Not unless he's wanted. Not unless he's wanted. Right? Not unless he's wanted. Not unless they can't find Vardo.
Then they put out a poster.
Let me Chester read this text as I shake my head inside. We'll go to this call. Should we respond to that text anyway? Good morning, caller. You are on the air. I mean, they claim, but maybe they need to understand.
Right.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, sorry for calling back, but when it comes to the question of bail, y'all need to send them reporters to the office of the Prime Minister, man. Ask him all the questions. That's the man who's solely responsible for introducing bail in this country, you know. Y'all need to send them there, man. Thanks for taking my call again.
Oh, boy. You really? You think you that's what you think?
And what must we do at the office?
I mean, I don't understand how he could say something like that. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Maybe he represented a lot of people who were seeking. Okay. Texter. Should we respond to that?
No.
Texter, just look at the paper though, and see. Some people are very busy, so they don't have time to do what you're asking about. Okay, just read, and you'll see. Texter knows who I'm talking to. Yeah. This one says, why do we retire judges at 65 when there is obviously a need? Another one says, can we all agree the problem isn't bail? We are all innocent until proven guilty. Okay. The problem is the amount of time it takes for a matter to go to trial. Are we going to lock people up for 6 years before they stand trial? Remember the foreign lady out west accused of killing her husband? Her trial was done in about 6 months. Well, she had about 3 trials, and that was over many years. But I hear you. Let's take this call, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Good, good. So listen, now we have to understand that the government system of politics is loaded with lawyers. Lawyers know that when there's a lot of illegal matters, and I'm not saying that for every lawyer, when there's a lot of illegal matters, they get paid. Are they trying to really address these situations, or are they trying to alleviate them? Not necessarily, because that is less business for the lawyers. So one of the issues that needs to be addressed is the fact that the legal matters are in the hands of the politicians, who most of them are lawyers. So that's a matter that needs to be addressed.
How do you think we should address that? Because you can determine this. You can decide not to vote for a lawyer or a criminal defense attorney, especially. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, but right. What we can do also is while we're voting for PLP, FNM, DNA, or whoever, right, we can also have a box where we can tick, would you like to see execution for murder? Let this be in the hands of the people. Would you like to see criminal justice for marital rape? Let it be in the hands of the people. Sometimes it works out best that way. I'm not saying that it's going to be the right way, but what I'm saying is for now, we've tried this way and it hasn't worked. Let's try another way. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if we keep doing what we've always done, we're going to get what we've always gotten. So we have to change some things. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Were you talking about an opinion poll?
Of course. Couple messages as we go to the break. This person says here, how can we complain when we don't want to show up for jury duty or witnesses in these cases? We are part of the problem also. I hear you. I mean, but you know, those have specific issues along with them, right? Jury duty can be a chaotic process, apparently, for those who've taken part in it, right? They're running up and down, time lost, and all this stuff, and going to court and nothing happens. And yeah, so, right? So that can drive people crazy. And then witnesses are in fear for their lives. So I hear you. We are definitely part of the problem, but those examples, I'm not too sure about those ones. Those aren't the best examples of why we're part of the problem. The system is causing those two to be challenged. But okay. You know, okay, so the person says here, when the police were investigating Leni Sherrill, they called her name, so why can't they do the same for this MP? There's a big difference, though. I mean, the police are claiming they have a lot of evidence in that one. And this is one person's word against another. You know what I mean? It's a different type of situation.
Yeah, think about that one.
Yeah, really. Oh boy. Okay. Well, you know, I see people trying to tie this into the marital rape thing. We're gonna get into that story when we get back from the break. But I mean, so just think about that though. If no, let me not say it because it's gonna cause problems. But is this not how you would want that handled if it were a marital rape situation, right? Where your name isn't plastered all over the place? you want to make sure and do the right? No? Before any charges are... So that should make some people rest assured, no? Or are you thinking this is only happening because he's a political individual?
That's what lots of people are thinking.
Yeah. We'll get into that after the break. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hey boy, wine doesn't pay. Don't throw your life away, boy. Wine doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away? Don't mind what your friends say, boy. Wine doesn't pay.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
To continue to look forward for better ways to support you.
So we're making changes to serve you the best we can.
And continue to listen to your needs. We want to be clear
that we will continue to strive for better.
To look forward to you being our customers, community, partners, and employees.
Working together as our parents and even our grandparents did.
A chain of islands with a common horizon.
RBC, committed and invested in the region now and into the future.
It is time for the first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. In your real-time traffic this morning, heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway as usual at this hour, from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny Gloom's Darling Highway, the northbound lanes there. Gladstone Road also busy for you just north of Fire Trail, straight up to JFK Drive. Elsewhere, we are seeing heavy traffic on Carmichael Road westbound to Coral Harbor Road. And further east, we've got Eastern Road, heavy traffic east of Fox Hill, well, almost from San Souci straight up to Johnson Road especially. Soldier Road looking terrible for you this morning, especially from Robinson Road, straight up to the intersection with Bernard Wolf and Village. That's northbound. Marathon Road also busy for you, both directions, but mainly northbound this morning. Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections. And moving back west, we've got some building traffic near Saunders Beach and the roundabout with New Providence Highway on West Bay Street. And Blue Hill Road north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive building as well. East Street between Soldier and East-West Highway, Independence Drive, another hot spot for you. Good luck to you out there. That's real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your mortgage story today. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Everybody's idea of home is different, so every mortgage should be unique, shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
Hey guys, I got a joke for you. What did one ocean say to the other?
I don't know.
Nothing. It just waved.
I don't get it.
An ocean? It waves to another ocean.
Oceans can't wave. They don't have hands.
What?
How would they even see each other? They don't have eyes either.
Seriously, how are you not getting this?
Oceans aren't even alive. Nothing you said makes sense.
With most claims paid within a few days, we're like a friend that doesn't miss the joke. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
Ready to step into the future? From your front door to the backyard and everywhere in between. See and speak to whoever's there with Ring Video doorbells and security cameras now available at Alive. Protect what matters most, all from one easy app. Available in your Google or Apple Play Store. Visit bealive.com/ring to learn more. We are Alive.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
People, what you thinking? We want something different. People, what you wanting? We want local government. I can tell them no more slunking. We want to see it function. I can tell them no more joking. I forgot. Going down Blue Hill Road, going down Village Road, going down Nassau Road. We want local government. We want local government. It's a road. We want local government. Share the love. We want local government. We got call for local government.
Sign the petition and find out more information at risebahamas.net.
Everybody's idea of home is different, so every mortgage should be unique, shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Stand! Oh yeah! Stand! Stand! Let's go! Stand! You do the crime, you must do the time. Stand! KBH thing say so. Stand! Oh yeah! Stand! Let's go! Crime doesn't pay, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Don't throw your life away, boy. Crime doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away? Don't mind what your friends say, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Listen, prison only looks good.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards. We're going to go to the news in just a second, so we're going to have more on what we've been talking about in just a bit. Just want to say there's a front page story in the Nassau Guardian about the Works Minister and Fort Charlotte. He's Fort Charlotte, right? Fort Charlotte MP Alfred Sears saying that he supports the criminalization of marital rape. No surprise there. But we're just wondering, I mean, so this is a front page story. Is this what we're going to do, though? Every MP is going to get a whole front page story on how they feel about marital rape. Yeah, this is... Yes? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
it seems that way.
It's very strange.
That way. That's the way it's going.
Oh, boy.
Ask everyone individually how they feel.
Individually. In 2023, because, I mean, you know, everywhere that looks weird, right? Because rape is in the word. So you gotta, I mean, who doesn't, right? Well, if they're sane, rape is rape. But okay, so that's what we're doing. Well, there we go. I would suggest to our reporters out there, everybody, please try to get them all in one story. That might be better than to have 39 different ones. You're probably going to go to the Senate too. It's going to be long. This is going to be long, folks. Anyway, we'll get back to all of this after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Crime doesn't pay, boy. Crime doesn't pay. Don't throw your life away, boy. Crime doesn't pay. If being bad was good, boy, then why they lock away? Don't mind what your friends say, boy. Crime doesn't pay.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook us or text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:23, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here is what's happening. We've got a frontal boundary extending across the southeast Bahamas. That's going to continue to generate some cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern islands today. High pressure centered north of the area will promote mostly dry and breezy conditions across most of the southern Bahamas and the northwest and central islands as it gradually slides eastwards through tonight. Boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas should remain alert as there's a threat of waterspout and funnel cloud activity. There's also a risk for a few strong thunderstorms and the chance of localized flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall. Beachgoers and swimmers in the Northwest and Central Islands should be alert as there's a risk for rip currents along North and East Coast beaches. Your forecast for today for the Northwest and Central Bahamas, partly sunny and breezy with a slight chance of a spotty shower or two, becoming mostly fair and breezy and mild tonight. Small craft operators should exercise caution. For the Southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong at times. Temperatures getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 66 Fahrenheit, 19 Celsius. In your extended outlook, remnants of the frontal boundary will linger near the Bahamas, then interact with an upper-level disturbance that will move from the Gulf of Mexico and across the area. That's going to support some showers and thunderstorms over the next few days leading into Friday. So, for tomorrow, Thursday, expect variably cloudy conditions with scattered showers and the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds with isolated showers and possible thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and warm at night. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years, is the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. And time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. Real-time traffic, we are seeing a lot of heavy traffic in a number of areas. So Milo Butler Highway as usual, heavy traffic from Fire Trail all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Gladstone Road also busy for you from just north of Fire Trail straight up to JFK Drive. We've got Blue Hill Road seeing some heavy traffic near Carmichael and north of Soldier on the way to Independence Drive. Independence Drive, both directions, but mainly westbound this morning. Heavy traffic there toward the roundabout with Blue Hill. East Street between Soldier and the roundabout with Independence Drive and East-West Highway is very busy, especially northbound this morning. And straight through to Robinson Road, East Street and Robinson. Then we've got Eastern Road, heavy traffic from St. Susie straight up to Johnson Road, Bernard Road with the schools in the area, Prince Charles Drive near Elizabeth Estates, and Beatrice Avenue, and straight through from there to Soldier and Robinson. And then Soldier Road is seeing heavy traffic from that intersection straight up to Bernard Road and Wolf Road and Village Road this morning. Got some congestion on West Bay Street as well, eastbound near Saunders Beach to Providence Highway and straight through to Arawak Key. And the six-legged roundabout at JFK also this morning. That's what we're looking at. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your mortgage story today.
Music man. This is not a golden rule. Take it and don't be no fool. Check this. You'll never see a dog barking at a parked car. You'll never see him barking if the car ain't moving. You'll never see trying to excel yourself, they got your name everywhere. Because dog don't bark at Parker, no way. Come on. The only time they can start barking is when the car start moving.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. All right, so let's get into this story. It's the big headline in the National Guardian. It's talk. Everybody's talking about it. And all the papers and all over social media. So police say they are taking this rape claim very seriously and take all rape claims seriously. And the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Bernard K. Bonamy, saying that there is no double standard in probing the allegation made against a sitting MP. Our Candia Dames writing about this today. Assistant Commissioner Bonamy saying yesterday that police are taking seriously a rape allegation made by a woman against a sitting member of parliament and won't be pressured by social media on how to conduct its investigation. Bonamy also said police have not yet interviewed the MP in question. Now that part is odd. Why? Why not? This is more than a week now.
Yep.
But what's your investigations entail? But anyway, okay. But intend to do so once they get the appropriate point in their investigation. What? Okay. It's rape, so it's his word versus her word. Why would you not talk? Yeah. Anyway, police, this is Bonamy saying, quote, all matters reported to the police we take serious. We did receive a complaint by a female who made an allegation against a sitting MP. The matter, we want to do it in a professional manner, and that is why I said we will do our inquiries. We do our inquiries, and the inquiries contain so many things. I don't want to go into that. Once we have completed our inquiries, we will see where it goes at some point in time. If accusations are made against someone, the individual will have to be spoken to.
One day.
But we don't want to rush the investigation.
Time is not of the essence.
You don't want to rush it, but the alleged victim is out there giving interviews to people and saying all manner of things. Okay. He said also, quote, we don't want to be pressured in the investigation. We want to take our time and carry out due diligence in the investigation. And once we've completed that, we will be in a better position to give any update as to where we are with the investigation. Now, Bonamy did not name the MP in question. The woman who made the complaint against him has been speaking to other sectors of the media, outlining in explicit details what she alleges happened. Her story has been shared thousands of times online. The widespread reporting on the matter has fueled a torrent of calls for the allegation to be treated seriously by police, and also claims the police are foot-dragging because the allegation is against a PLP MP. Bonamy says this is simply untrue. He says, quote, it's not that the police are trying to avoid anything. It's just that we want to take our time and do this investigation properly. I don't think he stressed this, but I did. We want to do this investigation properly. We don't want to be pressured by media, how social media responds to our investigation. We will not do that. We will do our investigation and at some point get back to media and let them know where we're at in our investigation. There's nothing unusual about the investigation. If a complaint is made, we investigate. If there is someone who can assist in the investigation, someone who can give us information in our investigation, we will do just that. Okay. In fact, we take time. We don't want to rush it. Like I said, we want to do it in a decent and respectable manner. We're not trying to avoid anyone. I can say to you, we have been in contact with the complainant, and the complainant is an adult. Well, we all know that. Anyway, I'm being told that the family is saying police have not reached out to the complainant. We have been in communication with the complainant, and that's all I will say on that. So she has made a complaint. We've spoken with her on several occasions, and we are investigating the matter. Bottomley said police will continue to conduct a professional probe. Oh, boy. He said, quote, I say, let's be respectful to each other. We know what we're doing. We know who we need to see. We know what inquiries and what investigations we need to make. Police won't be pressured into acting because some persons feel as though police have something to hide. There's nothing to hide. Bottomley said the police force does not, quote, police on social media. Now, asked whether police think the widespread reporting and public commentary on the matter could end up prejudicing the case, Bottomley merely repeated that the police remain focused on their investigation. He did not say when police intend to speak with the accused MP, stating again that police will take their time to ensure they conduct a thorough probe into the claims made by the woman. Asked yesterday about the matter, Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper said, quote, I am certain that police will investigate aggressively, and we believe in the rule of law, and we are confident that due process will prevail and the police will do their jobs. Okay. That's bizarre. Bizarre. This is part is a little strange. What more? You could have concurrent conversations, couldn't you? What do I know about investigations, right? But I mean, you'd think, right? No. All right, let's get your reaction to this, folks. They've not called him yet? I mean, it's one thing that I would think we've talked to both sides, and this is why we're having an issue with whether to press charges, but not even? Okay. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Chester, you want to read out the toll-free line? It's inside joke. Wow. Inside joke. Wow. You can call us toll-free, 242-300-5720. 300-5720. Chester says he can't read the number. His eyes need to get checked out. That's what I'm saying. But anyway.
Okay.
But sure.
Okay.
Text is 422-4796. This is a very interesting text that came in a little while ago, but this person says here, so one of our Guardian headlines is, do Bahamian judges live on the U planet? Mars. This is the text. That's all in the text.
I was going to say.
That's all in the text. Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, we know our courts have been in a mess, and Assistant Commissioner Bottomley says he would not be pressured by social media. But when people harm themselves or end up dead, the same social media is a place for our police, PM, and politicians to make a pronouncement about violence and how much they care. #corrupt state. Yeah, and sometimes leak photos, too, apparently. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, pursuant to what Speaker Barnaby said, right? You cannot blame person for kind of, wondering where the police is with all of this, right? Because based on past incident, and I don't want to get into, but the police has hesitated and procrastinate with certain things. So the public sometimes in a way believes, like the police sometimes somehow believe they're above the law, okay? Now, I sometimes looking from out in, because when this matter first went out, they were sort of like not treating it like how they would have treated somebody else if they were not, a politician or somebody who is supposed to be a leader in this country.
Yeah.
So I could see why, people would want them to, just have some integrity, do your job, and regardless of who, because ain't nobody is above the law. I don't care who you is. If you commit a crime, you go before the judge and you answer to your crime, and if you're proven guilty, then, but this island is so small, and there's so many things are happening, and then swept under the rug, so people will get a little anxious. Okay? But,
yep.
That's just how I feel about it.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's odd. I would have thought they would talk to him by now, at least, right? This person says here, morning. So do you think that if you or I were accused of rape, police would be taking their time, or would not have even had a conversation with us by now? I mean, is weird.
That's the question.
Yeah, that is strange. It's one thing to take your time to press charges, but to not even have the conversation is bizarre. Got to admit that one. That is crazy. Because you could easily say, look, we talked to both sides, and we don't think this is something we need to get involved in, and so, right? But to not even... Okay. This one says here, it's a double standard. If Joe Blow was accused of this, their name would be all in the news. Again, I don't know that one.
I don't know anything. Again, I don't know anything about investigation either, right? But if you went to the police and said, someone threatened my life, would you wait a week?
Talk to you for a week.
Yeah. I mean, would you wait a week to even say, hey, are you making threats?
I guess that's...
I don't know how it works. That's how it works.
Life. That's threatening the life is maybe in their eye, perhaps a little different. I don't know.
And isn't the suggestion in this case that there was a bit of life-threatening things happening?
Well, let's see what this caller is saying. Good morning. You're on the air.
Thanks for taking my call.
Hi.
Maybe the police might have been given instructions to take their time, because the actual commissioner, I think you call him, he said that many times that he is taking his time. And I feel as though that sounded to me like a mandate. But then this is the problem here now. While the other Caribbean countries was expecting for the Bahamas to be leading, being talked down, because we got murderers walking the street, and we have these lawyers who was once represented them and now have to find a way to lock them up, and that's kind of difficult to do. So we created this dilemma all on ourselves by putting our foot in our mouth by electing these criminal lawyers. It's as simple as that.
Criminal defense.
Oh, sorry.
Lawyers.
I should have put the word defense in there. Right. But you know what I mean. Thanks.
Well, I don't know. Did you say that the other Caribbean countries are looking to the Bahamas to lead? That's what you said?
Well, it was a thought many years ago. Because, I was kind of associated with Cecil and all those. And there was a high expectation for the Bahamas to be like the leader in the Caribbean.
Oh, my.
When it comes to behavior, politics, setting the right example, and being honest and fair. But now we have those who were looking up to us, saying that for them to follow, are telling us that we really ain't got it. And I hope our prime ministers and other prime ministers would take note of the fact that we're electing them to just spin, gamble with our lives. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. Well, they did admit that they have the issues there, too, especially when it comes to bail, right? So it's not just us. But yeah. Okay. So this text here, this is a bunch of foolishness. At what point do you speak with the accused if you have already spoken with the victim several times? If this is what all rape victims go through, is this how the police conduct investigations? This press release further convinced me that this press statement that a proper investigation is not going to be done. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I wish they would take this time when conducting murder investigations, right? Because, as the previous texter said, sorry for all the Ardo people, but when Vardo is accused of murder, it was like a day after, right? A day after the shooting took place, usually. How well did you conduct an investigation there? You certainly didn't take your time. This is how it should be, though, right? Well, I mean, you got to at least talk to the people who have been accused. But I don't understand. Good morning. You're on the air.
Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Yeah, I'm kind of flabbergasted by the comments by the assistant commissioner because, I mean, I just heard on the news on Guardian Radio this morning where some lady on a cruise ship made a complaint that the nurse had sexually assaulted her, and they arrested him right away. 7:30 yesterday morning, they took him into custody. And so, I'm like, well, but yet this lady made a complaint a few weeks ago, and you haven't even spoken to the sitting MP. I mean, that reeks of nepotism. That reeks of an egregious act or protection against politicians. I mean, it's like, you said in the text just a little while ago, if Joe Blow was charged with rape, he would have been spoken to
Accused.
and probably arrested and beaten up.
Well, oh boy.
I mean, this doesn't look good for our government. In light of that other video that's been posting on social media concerning the murder of that young man, that happened by off-duty police officers. So this doesn't look good for our police. It doesn't look good that our government is allowing this to continuously play out. It seems like there's one rule for some citizens and one rule for persons who are involved in the political process. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look good. They should have at least spoken to this particular MP, whoever he is.
Yeah.
That cruise line incident you talked about was local?
I'm assuming it was on the local news.
You heard that today?
It was on your news this morning.
This morning?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't hear that. Thank you very much. Wow.
I mean, well, if that's what it was, it's a good case in point, right? But then, I mean, that person probably would have already been held by the cruise line security anyway.
Wow. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Okay. If an MP is accused of hitting an officer, nothing happened there. I'm not confident that the police will do anything in this situation. That's text there. Okay, this is out of nowhere here. This person. Ooh, okay. We got a text about this a few days ago, but it's still happening, I guess. They're complaining about the light at the Soldier Road and Village Road, Bernard Road, Wolf Road intersection. And perhaps that's what's causing. We're seeing heavy traffic there. Yeah, I know this is very random. Heavy traffic on Soldier, and they're saying the timing is well off. It's only allowing 5 seconds. Yeah, something is very wrong there, and it's causing real problems. So, authorities, if you're listening, for God's sake, do something. Do something about that. This person says, can you recall some years back when Blankenship, the U.S. ambassador, spoke about our judicial system and the backlash that he received from some of these same people who are in office now? Yeah, nothing's changed, eh? This person says here, groups in the Bahamas are, the rights groups, the civil rights groups are a joke in the Bahamas. We are more serious about political demonstrations than about the rights for the victim. Okay, a lot of you are saying these things, but, it's important for those folks to take their time and to have all the facts before they say something, right? So you can't expect them to jump up and protest. We know where everybody stands on rape. But this case, we don't know the facts. We don't know all the story yet. So you're not going to, right? Don't watch that. Just make sure the police do what they're supposed to do. You're getting distracted by the wrong thing. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
Okay, a few years ago, right, in the Turks and Caicos, right, a Bahamian lawyer petitioned for a murder accused to get bail, and that set a precedent for us being stuck in this getting bail for murder right now. Right? Now here it is. The same either firm or lawyer came up with the idea to put in place no more visual or perf walking or whatever they call it, bank lane shuffle, to come about.
Well,
and that's in place now.
They don't inform the media, right? So that you could still, if you get out there, and know who you're looking at. But right, it's not a circus anymore where they used to tell everybody at 2:00 we're bringing this one out and that stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So we Sometimes you don't get to hear the news. But here's the assault case on the cruise ship. Right? Police are aggressively investigating the circumstances surrounding an alleged sexual assault of a 43-year-old American woman. The incident happened on Tuesday, April 18th, according to information received sometime around 7:30 a.m. A female passenger from Cleveland, Ohio, while on board a cruise ship, visited the infirmary for medical attention. It was during this time that she was administered a dosage of medication by a male nurse who allegedly sexually assaulted her moments later. Subsequently, the matter was reported to police, which resulted in the arrest of the 34-year-old suspect. Investigations continue into the matter.
So,
swift.
When you put those two cases together, it does make you wonder.
Again, at least talk to the accused, have a discussion, right? Based on some of the, let's not say more. But, boy. All right, some more of your text messages. The person says here, this is another one about Village Road. Yeah, the light there. 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, the light controlling northbound traffic is changing, causing backups on the Soldier Road way all the way back to Prince Charles. Yeah, and it was bad on Village Road as well, southbound. 2 seconds. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how these things can last for so long.
From the light,
I'm telling you, I counted 2 seconds
at Burger King to Prince Charles.
That's where that's what in our traffic report we said that it's very bad there. Do not go on Soldier Road if you need to go north this morning. But the light needs to be reprogrammed. It is really causing problems, and that is a very serious intersection. So, boy. So from this story has been out, and it's just reported in your paper. Now, that is odd, even though you didn't want to talk about it. Well, again, no one's been charged, and apparently no one's been talked to. Well, at least not the accused. So, right? And otherwise, it's just somebody saying words. But again, you're watching the wrong thing. Watching the wrong thing, texter. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and to your guest.
Hi.
Morning.
I know you're talking about a very delicate situation, and I do agree with all of the callers so far, is that if it was me or you or anybody else that was accused of rape, the policeman would have had us in custody, questioning us, handcuffed. They'll come to my house, throw the cuffs on me, and take me down wherever they can take me and question me. You know, that should have happened immediately. As soon as that young individual reported that she was raped, that person should have been picked up and questioned. And then you do your investigations upon that. But I call on another matter also. I am here on Gladstone Road heading up Fusion. And 98% of us are towing the traffic line. And you got cars coming like a bat out of hell from south heading north. I mean, there's overtaking and cars that are heading north, coming north, heading south, got to pull on the side of the road. And I know I'm not the only one that reported this. The policemen them should be out here every morning to give tickets to these folks who doing this crap. It is a bunch of foolishness, man.
They're just overtaking everybody?
Huh?
They're just overtaking everybody.
They're overtaking everybody until they come to the peak of the hill, and then they're going to dart in front of you. And if you don't let them in, they cussing you like a bat out of hell.
I don't say publicly on the radio a couple of times where you could get all the traffic tickets you need for your month.
That's the truth. And guess what? If they do that, then we probably go to 5% VAT. Have a good day, man.
Wow, that is very serious. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Go between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock between East Street and Blue Hill Road on the highway.
Every street.
Everybody who cutting off East Street through Garden Hills, when they reach down to the corner, breaking every traffic law they want to break to get onto the highway.
Yeah. This text here, what a lackluster explanation about not questioning the MP under investigation. I wonder if the same obfuscation would be acceptable in the U.S. or U.K. Okay. What is so sad is if what what was saying, questioning how long it's taken. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. All right, so the text message is getting a little we're gonna have to just leave this here, I suspect.
Well, what did you think was
I
gonna
mean,
happen?
it's get people like testifying and stuff and giving that, and so this is gonna get. Oh boy. Let's read this one. This one says, did you see the F&M presser on this issue? The F&M women want law enforcement to prioritize women and children. I don't blame police for treating this case like every other. Women want special treatment in everything and quite frankly think that they are royalty. Let them wait, just like every case. Oh, dear God.
First of all,
what is happening?
some women
What is
are
happening?
royalty.
But literally, yes. But texters, I do think you. I don't have the energy. I don't know what to say to you.
I don't even know why you read it.
I don't. But this is very sad. But you might need to talk to somebody. Yeah. Okay. Yep, I'm going through the messages. I can't read these. Well, that one's expletive filled.
Wow.
Okay. Yep. Wow. Chester, why don't you sing while I go through these messages?
Kumbaya, kumbaya.
Oh Lord.
But I do agree with the traffic thing with people doing whatever they want to do is very vexing. I have to get back to it because you see it all the time, and it's dangerous the kind of stuff those people do.
Yeah. And as I said on the show yesterday, people going to work angry, and right, the Prime Minister is talking about what we need to do about crime.
Some of these people don't be going to work. I can tell you that. They just aren't.
Okay. But we've got to do something. We got to bring down the temperature in this country. Everybody is very much on edge, and this is contributing to a lot of the problems we're seeing. This person says here, the investigation process needs to be fixed before marital rape can even be considered to be criminalized. Can you imagine how many other rape matters are being handled by the police right now? Okay. The police and the government seem to be tone deaf as to the climate in today's Bahamas. With increased levels of sexual assaults and a history of things being swept under the rug, Bahamians are skeptical, especially due to the fact that the alleged victim and her family are making serious accusations in the media. At the minimum, police should have questioned the accused by now. Yeah. Okay. I'm disappointed that the police officer tried to. What? No. Okay.
What?
Boy. Okay, so everyone's been listening to all these other interviews and reading all the stuff's being said, and so they're saying things, and all these are things that we shouldn't be saying on the air because it's just hearsay and prejudicial, and so we have to be very careful, right? And in fact, I'm afraid to take this call, but let's do this really quickly. Caller, be careful. Good morning, you're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Great, Dwight. That call who just called about the traffic from Munnins Drive straight up to the graveyard. Cars has come flying, and then you don't want to let them in. They cussing you and everything. If the police be out there in the morning, like I think Mr. Chester, you can get all the money you want for the treasury every morning, because this is the route I have to take to work. So that caller is right. Every morning, cars come flying from Munnins Drive straight up.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, all right,
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, so since our last traffic update, I mean, things clearly have gotten worse on Soldier Road, and that wacky light there, the traffic is now well south of Prince Charles, and
that's bad.
Yeah, straight up to Bernard Wolf and Village. So Soldier Road again, avoid that area. But if you're on Prince Charles Drive, because traffic's backed up at Soldier, now Prince Charles is looking terrible even at 9 o'clock from Beatrice Avenue straight through to Robinson Road. So for God's sake, Ministry of Works, somebody get to that. It's been bad. I said it on Monday's show, and it's still insane there. People are having only seconds to get through the light, literally seconds. And something is very wrong. I mean, when will the madness end for Village Road, right? But wow. But yeah, Soldier Road, not looking good. And we've got a whole lot of issues. Old Trail still looking bad. And as the callers have been saying, Gladstone Road is terrible. And still heavy traffic on Mile Butler Highway well south of Fire Trail. And West Bay Street near Saunders Beach, if you're heading eastbound, not pretty. And I'm heading into town as well as you approach Nassau Street near Arawak Key. And in the south, this is what's going on today. Everybody's working today. You've got Cowpen looking bad. Wow. And Carmichael.
It's one of those
Good
days.
luck out there, folks. But hopefully you're listening to Guardian Radio. We'll talk you through it. And so a couple more messages before we break for news right now. This person says here, it's a lot of wow, no, can't read that one. Well, hey, let's just play some music.
Why do people waste their time sending you
I don't
text
know what's
messages
going on
that
here
they
today.
got to know that you
Well,
can't
we
read?
We can't read this.
Y'all stop wasting time poking y'all phones. If you know Dwight ain't gonna read it.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to pick out little pieces that will be okay to read.
Okay.
Yep. More talk. At least talk to the MP. That's what one texter says. This person says, I thought it was an accident at JFK, but no, it was a food truck is blocking the roundabout and other food trucks. Okay. Chaos on Gloucester Road. That's all we know today. People are overtaking food trucks.
Food trucks pulled over to sell food?
I don't know. Is that what it is?
Well, I don't know.
We got long lines at the hospital to visit loved ones. Standing in line for 1 hour and visiting time is only 2 hours. Can the media come and look at this? This is going on today, too.
Wow.
More about Village Road. We need the police to come investigate what's happening at Village Road. Well, be patient. They take their time. And another one, I have no idea why we have a road traffic department, because road traffic laws are not being looked at all.
Wow.
Ministry of Works taking their time like the police.
Wow. I guess it's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday.
Nobody's understand what you're saying.
Okay. All right.
Like the British
queuing up?
queue up. Wow. Should have saved that one, Chester. We'll be back after the news. Stay with us.
See, everything is cool when you go along with the groove. Yeah, but like we say, dog, everything cool, eh? But when you're trying to make a movie, when you get mad at you, why people don't want to see you do good? You know that? Because dog don't back and back. No way. Calaboot. Yeah, they get rich and switch. The only time they can start back in when the cars start moving. Calaboot. Come on, let's go. Dog don't back and back. No way. No way. The only time they can start back in when the cars start moving.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey for every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Everybody's idea of home is different, so every mortgage should be unique, shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Jet off to the basketball playoffs with your Scotiabank credit card. You could be courtside in the middle of the action with an all-expenses-paid trip, plus airfare, spending money, and accommodations to the next basketball playoffs. Just apply for any Scotia credit card, spend $120 or more on a purchase, or use our Scotia Select Pay installment plan to win a slam-dunk trip to the next basketball playoffs, courtesy of your Scotia credit card. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
For more than 3 decades, Bahamas Check Services has provided high-quality checks to Bahamian businesses. And in 2023, the check is still a safe and efficient method of payment. Unlike credit cards and debit cards, checks don't incur high transaction fees and are a blessing to have during power outages or internet disruptions. BCS also provides custom deposit books and disposable deposit bags. Bahamas Check Services, serving the Bahamas for over 33 years. Contact us today at 677-8720.
People, what you thinking? We want something different. People, what you wanting? We want local government. I can tell them no more slunking. We want see it function. I can tell them no more joking. I forgot. Going down Blue Hill Road, going down Village Road, going down Nassau Road. We want local government. We want local government. It's a road. We want local government. Shed a load. We want local government. We got call for local government.
Sign the petition and find out more information at risebahamas.net.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And changing gears, we need to change gears from those conversations earlier in the show. But good luck to you if you're out on the streets. So the traffic is still bad out there. Lots of hot spots this morning. A lot of issues. Good luck. But it is time for our monthly segment with Bristol Wines and Spirits. Kyle Stubbs and Tori Saunders are with us. Gentlemen, great to see you again. Welcome. Let's get all those mics up there. There we go. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Good
Like we mentioned before we came in, we wished that this month would have been a little switch. We would have loved to join you last week as a part of your celebrations, but we'll continue that this week.
Yeah, no, we're celebrating all month long. 11 years of Guardian Radio and Morning Blend, and we just hit we didn't say anything on the air, but we hit our 500th Morning Blend business last week. So this is 500.
So 507?
507, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Reason to celebrate.
There you go.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
So this morning we're going to be talking about glassware.
Yeah.
And the right glassware for the right wine that you're drinking. And that is important, isn't it?
It is. When we talk about wine consumption, we talk about the experience, right? And so the vessel that we use to consume this beverage plays an important role. Mm-hmm. The shape, the size, the thickness of the glass, that all lends to the experience.
So are you telling me, Kyle, that I can't use a red Solo cup for wine?
You can use whatever you need to, but to get the best out of that experience, you shouldn't. Is my suggestion. And we talk about the proper glassware or improper glassware, or the way we hold glassware. We talk about changing temperature, intentionally or unintentionally. We speak about how the wine expresses itself or lack thereof, right? Certain wines are bigger and bolder, and so we want to get rid of astringent characteristics first and get to the enjoyable stuff. Some wines are really delicate, and so we want to trap those aromas and flavors so we can enjoy it, keep the vibrancy of the wine. And so, yeah, those things come into play. Again, it's all about the experience, and so we want to add to it as opposed to take away from it. But at the end of the day, just putting your wine in a vessel to make sure it gets to the palate is important.
I imagine, because when he mentioned red Solo cup, the plastic also has a taste in and of itself.
Right. So the next thing that I missed off on the plastic, which is easier, is, scent oils and stuff that could come from our pores, right? Easily could, the polycarb glassware, or even on the stemless glassware, we can leave that onto the glass, and it adds or takes away to the aromatics of the wine kind of thing. And we just want to experience the wine in its purest form.
Yeah. And this is stuff I've learned. So all crystal is glass, but not all glass is crystal, right?
100%. That's what it is.
And what difference does that make?
Well, the crystal is the finer that we get. So that'll be the thinner glass. So it allows less of a glass interruption with moving from liquid getting to your lips kind of thing. The crystal looks a lot better. It looks, bougie, for lack of better terms.
It feels nice.
It feels nice. And then it lends a little bit more to how the whole experience comes together kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I do drink out of a Libby's glass, but that's my every day. I just came home from work. I just want to put a glass of wine to my mouth. It'll be my Libby's glass.
It certainly holds up better when you're washing dishes and stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, when I'm sitting down and it's just me and my mom, it's going to be a nicer glass with a Sunday meal kind of thing, depending on what's on the plate.
Yeah. All right. So you've brought a whole lot of different glasses here. We're going to get to those. I just have a couple questions though. So years ago, I was getting into wine. Realized that you got to have different glasses for the different types, right? So red is different from white, and there are different types of red,
right,
and different types of white too. And champagne glasses are totally different from port, and all. So there's a glass for everything. Do you really need to have a glass for everything?
I mean, you have your Bible for church, right? You have your handbook for your employer. Right, so appropriate glassware for the right wine or beverage, I think, is important. Again, it's you won't get bashed for not having the appropriate, but it just speaks to, you said I was getting into wine, right? If somebody was not getting into wine, then it's okay just to have a universal glass, and that's what it is. But I'm getting into wine, and so you appreciate the small nuances that happens, the differences. So what I would want to happen this morning is both of you have a Pinot Noir glass in the front of you and a Cabernet glass, or Chester has a universal. What I would want to do is for us to try the Pinot Noir in the Pinot Noir glass and the universal glass. And then inside your Cab glass, we will try the Cabernet inside the Pinot Noir glass and inside the Cabernet glass, just to see the differences.
If I remember, this is the Pinot glass.
That's
right?
the Pinot Noir glass. There you go.
I've been studying.
Again, so the hope is that we can pick up some small nuances, but as people get a little bit more into wine and a little bit more comfortable with it, then you realize, you know what, the Pinot Noir shows itself better in a Pinot Noir glass. Not that it's a cardinal sin to drink it in a Cabernet glass, but it just shows itself a little bit better.
Right.
Now, are they labeled as such in stores? Or should you just kind of...
Yes and no, right? So if you look at this box here, it tells you that this is a Bordeaux glass, which speaks to Cabernet and Merlot and that blend kind of thing. That brand will also let you know it's a Burgundy glass, which speaks to Pinot Noir, right? And then some people will let you know, because we realize people are becoming a little bit more into it and a little bit more exposed. They will tell you, this is a white wine glass, this is a universal glass, this is a Pinot Noir glass, for those who want to take it to that level and become a little bit more comfortable. But for me, like our friends at Grey Goose, right? Because this is a universal glass, and it just speaks to that with even Grey Goose using it. So one day it's white wine, the next day it's red wine, the following day it's cocktail, and you go into a nice dessert bar and you could find some custard dessert inside of it. So it's a real universal glass kind of thing. Shape, size, the bowl and everything to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Are wine glasses getting bigger, or is it my imagination? Does it matter the size of the glass?
They are getting bigger, and I think that's... for us here in our market, people are looking for bigger glasses as we get a little bit more into wine, because we associate, for whatever reason, the bigger the wine glass, the more expensive wine that's going to be in it. But I just like to be at Premier Cru on a Friday with my big bowl, drinking a $15 bottle of Casio del Diablo.
I gotta ask, outside of church, have you ever drank out of a gold glass?
No, but
gold cup?
No.
Chalice?
Let me behave myself for the good Anglicans. For the good Anglicans who might be listening. No, but I do enjoy having my communion out of the chalice on a Sunday.
Well, it must be interesting.
It tastes really good out of that.
It is.
But I wonder if the profile is... I'm sure it is somehow.
Yeah. So two things is the Concord grape is what we typically use for communion wine.
Right.
But I'm certain if we were to take that wine and taste it in a wine glass, we can get some smaller difference nuances than it coming out of the chalice for sure.
It's all the other people's lips that have been on it too.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, let's
stay on track.
So when we look at the glass, right, the anatomy of the glass, we talk about the rim, right, the bowl itself, the stem, and the base. Simple stuff. The stem is for us to hold, to keep away, like I mentioned, temperature, disturbance by holding the glass. So technically, when it comes to formal settings, I'm anti-stemless wine glasses.
Right.
But again, Friday night, Saturday night, you kind of need that.
Yeah.
You don't want to...
Even if you're outside and there's danger that you could...
It is, but I'm just so used to holding it by the stem or holding it by the base, kind of thing. But my sister-in-law gifted me some stainless steel stemless wine glass. Not that I drink a lot of wine out of them, but I use them when appropriate, kind of thing.
Okay.
But the rim is what the last point of contact for the liquid before it comes to our lips. So the thickness plays a serious role in that. The bowl is designed for us to, the swirling activity that we do on it. And that's to increase surface area to allow oxygen so we can allow a deeper expression of what's happening inside the wine.
Right.
The stem is for us to hold, and that's where we should hold, So if you have a stem wine glass, you shouldn't be holding it at the bowl kind of thing. And then the base is just to give us balance. Whether that's service-wise, on the table itself, is just to bring a complete balance to the glassware.
So the stem for holding is any type of wine?
Yeah.
So I was under the impression, based on foolishness, I guess someone told me back in the day that you
No,
just
he
don't
pointing.
hold white wine by the stem, but you could hold red because it's already like room temperature or whatever by the bowl.
No, but if you think, okay, so
Or it looks fancy to hold it like this. But I guess that's a different type of.
A couple of things.
Yeah.
So if you do have, so if you pour white wine at 45 degrees and you bring your hand underneath here, we're quickly going to increase that temperature.
Right.
Right? It's the same thing. I mean, we say room temperature, but room temperature isn't room temperature for us. But it's the same thing with red wine, right? We could still, with the
Palm,
heat of
the
our
heat,
palm, increase the temperature. Right. So while we want to say, at 75 degrees, that's ideal for a Cabernet, we could quickly get up to 78, 80 degrees by just putting our hand underneath the glass kind of thing.
Right.
So again, we still change the temperature of the glass, which is something that we don't want to do, right? So
Unless you're drinking brandy or something, or
yeah,
cognac.
right. So,
Right, that's what-
yeah, which will be a larger glass than this.
Right.
But then you want that warming effect,
Right.
Because if you're not warming it from the bottom with here, then you're warming it with a torch or something on the inside of
Right.
the brandy or the cognac kind of thing. So that warming effect is what you want on that grape-based spirit.
Unless
which
you're
is not
drinking Hennessy on the beach, like people do in the Bahamas, which is a wacky thing.
We are concerned.
In the summer, you mean?
We're concerned about those folks, but we won't judge them. Hennessy on the beach in the summer.
I think Dwight already has.
We have to remind them occasionally. All right.
Super.
So just going back to the rim or brim? Which
Yeah,
one
the
do we
rim.
say?
The rim.
You talk about the thickness, and does it matter? I'm sure it controls the amount of liquid that goes into your mouth and how it flows into your mouth.
Yeah, the
based on the thickness of the rim.
Right. So a thicker glass it almost gives the liquid free access. Right. However it gets into your palate. So and we know how the palate is designed. So with that kind of approach, I can have a wine that has a concentrated fruit content, but it misses the front of my palate because of the thickness of the rim.
Right.
And so this wine seems a little bit more tart or a little bit more bitter. And it's just literally because I missed the sweet part of my palate. Whereas something thin is going to allow this liquid to seamlessly ride from this glass into your palate and coat your entire palate. And so now you get a full expression of this wine. You know what? There is a fruit content in it. Or you know what? The acid is bright, but it's enjoyable. There is a drying out sensation in the middle of my palate. You get to experience the whole wine, literally just based on that rim, bringing that liquid to the lips kind of thing.
I find thicker rimmed cups and glasses have a tendency to make you dribble.
Yeah, it's almost like free flowing. Yeah. You can take too much, something can spill out.
And I think it rolls around the bottom of it, and then it might miss your lip. I don't know.
I
That's
agree
not-
with you.
Was that after you had a few glasses?
Just say it.
All right. So last year you got us into rosé, and so I don't have any specific rosé glasses. I've been drinking out of white glass. Is that
And
fine? Because I see that they do have rosé glasses.
Yes and no. You're a gentleman and a scholar, right? White wine glasses. Rosé fall a little bit more on the white wine side of things. It is delicate, and so you want to trap a little bit more. You want to hold the vibrancy and the acidity of the rosé wine, and so a white wine glass or the universal, like what Chester has here, is adequate.
That's the best one to go with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the industry isn't just running out. The industry isn't just running out.
No.
They're just like, okay, we need a glass for this.
And I said somebody would ask a question like that, but no. Inside the industry, just as serious as they are, science-wise and chemistry-wise in the labs and looking at clones and grapes and so on, it's just as serious as they are inside in glassware. I've had once in my career the opportunity, Riedel, who's one of the leading wine manufacturers, to do a wine tasting through their glassware when I was in Nova Scotia. And just as we will this morning, just to have one wine tasted in 7 different glasses, and it's like, I just got 7 different impressions.
Oh my goodness.
Of the same wine, same vintage, out of the same bottle, because of the differences in this glassware.
Wow.
And they, Riedel gets a lot more specific. They can give you a Cab glass, they'll give you a Merlot glass, they'll give you a Bordeaux glass and a Pinot Noir glass. Whereas we just want to keep it very basics. In the red wine category, the big boys are Pinot Noir stylistically and Cab. So those 2 glassware. White wines are universal, so we have a white wine glass kind of thing, and then we move into the cordials and the champagnes.
Wow.
Okay.
So what? I know there's a port glass, but sherry. What should you drink? Sherry?
They all fall in that cordials. So it's a little bit of, because they are concentrated with compounds, the deeper flavor, deeper aroma, higher alcohol content, but they're also served in lower quantities, right? We have 5 to 6 ounces on a glass of wine.
Right.
We have 2 to 3 ounces on port or sherry. So, you put 2 ounces inside this Pinot Noir glass, I'm going to ask you, where's the rest of my sherry? Right? But you pour it in a cordial and it's like, oh, this is nice.
Right.
I'll take my time, cross my legs, and I'll enjoy this over the next 10 to 15 minutes, a sip at a time. Kind of
Sounds
thing.
wonderful. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. I don't know. I
So-
just find it so amazing that
I-
everything has a glass. It's
I
just
first
so
learned
cool.
about the glassware importance when I started tasting craft beer.
Yeah,
in different
there
places.
you go. And the head sizes and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff. There you go.
And it was in a glass shaped like a wine glass, and I was like, why is this person pouring my beer in a wine glass looking thing? They were like, that's so you trap, like you say, you kind of trap the scents and the aromas and the tastes and all these things. And then when you think about it, as a drink gets warmer as you consume it, it tastes much different in a glass than in a plastic cup. Actually, it tastes really stink in a plastic cup as it gets warm.
I didn't want people to judge me because I realize people do listen to me on the radio and when they see me, so I don't want them to. But you are 100%. You are 100. So it's just I can't even explain it no different, no better. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
To trap all of those good things, and especially when you get into the bear conversation, certain bears demand a thicker head, and again, that's for the experience, right? A bear without a head, it's not a bear. Drink it out of the bottle or the can. But if you can pour it properly, so you have the full experience. But a bear in a proper glass with the proper head versus it in a plastic cup, it's 2 different worlds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna try our first one here.
Yes. So this fantastic bottle we bought for a cheers to 11 years. We missed 500, but we have a 507.
Well, apparently it's 505.
505.
We don't do
Oh, yes.
weekend shows.
Weekend
right,
shows,
right.
Yes, absolutely.
505. That's a good number.
Avoided your liquid.
Thank you, sir.
We are talking about appropriate glassware, but it's just Tori and I this morning. And if we were to do that, it's 4 of us. So I'd have to bring 4 champagne glasses, 4 white wine, 4 Pinot Noir, 4 bottle. But this is symbolic. The relationship that we started last year with Guardian Radio, we at Bristol's value it and appreciate it. We see it on a daily basis. But this is just from Bristol's to Guardian Radio. Cheers for what it is that you've contributed to us.
Thank you.
And our society and our community.
Cheers. Thank you very much. All right.
But this is an Imolo sparkling wine, and this belongs to the fantastic family that the Bahamians love, the Wagner family. So they produce Camus and Camus Special Selection and Bowen Dry Appellation, Imolo Sauvignon Blanc, a few others. But this is their traditional method, sparkling. We brought it out. We are still holding on a few cases of this. But because the champagne world is becoming so exciting, we might be saying goodbye to this in the near future.
Wow.
But it's, traditional method, so it goes through the same process as the champagne. It's just that these grapes are California versus France.
Right.
Secondary fermentation inside the bottle. We leave the wine on the dead yeast cells to give us a little bit of that bready, brioche flavor. We're talking about California, so the fruit is a little bit more riper, so it has a little bit more of a fruit component than typical champagnes or traditional methods. But I think it's just a very clean, good, premium example of a California sparkling.
And how much would this go for?
I think the price just increased on this. This would be in the $60 range, so $60, $65.
It's good.
That's really good. And so, what difference would it have made?
What are we doing to it?
Champagne flute now instead of the.
So two things. Today's society, the champagne flutes that we're drinking out of like mini white wine glasses, right? But we started off in those tall champagne glasses. It's a celebration, right? Just so we spoke about beer, so we wanted to see just a little bit of that foaming that is happening on the top. But when we look at a champagne glass or champagne, we're concerned with the size of the bubbles, the frequency of that flow of that bubble, right? That shape of the champagne flute just lends itself to that. I mean, you just look at us drinking this sparkling wine in this red wine glass, like you can't see what's happening bubble-wise. There's little foam or anything to the top. But even with the small white wine glasses now, it still allows you to see a little bit. But because there's so much focus on the quality of champagnes now, we want a little bit of a wider bowl to allow any astringency to release itself, and then we get to the enjoyable side.
Nice.
You did remind me when you said that is really a quality that they sell champagne with, how the bubbles attach itself to the side of the glass and then bubble upwards. Like that's almost like the thing in advertising.
It is.
You need to see bubbles attached to the glass and rising up, which we missed with this bowl.
All right, we've got a call. Let's take this call, and then we'll get back to the tasting. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Did we lose him? Yep. Okay, you can call us. Call us back, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259 or toll free 242-300-5720. Text us 422-4796. All right, so you mentioned the champagne glasses. I want to ask you about that. So so we know the flutes, the tall ones, but you do have the
There's a smaller white wine glass. It almost looks like a cordial glass.
Right.
And again, like I said, champagne is becoming so serious. That it deserves a little bit more than how does it look in a glass, right? You know, the forming of the head, the foam, the carbonization at the top, or the bubbles to the glass. But what is the best way I can enjoy this champagne? Right. For some people, that foam or those prickles or those excessive bubbles at the first sip could be a little offensive to the palate.
Right.
Whereas in the slightly wider bowl, we allow that to release itself a little bit. We're still going to get the carbonization inside the wine itself, but I'm going to get a true expression of the wine as opposed to it being...
You're getting jack up in your mouth
immediately.
Right.
And then trying to enjoy and understand and appreciate the wine behind it kind of thing. It's like, no, let's take away a little bit of that and give you a little bit more of the wine
I get
experience.
That with the bowl. You're right. That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So which one do you prefer, the flute or the coupe?
I don't want to say I don't do too much celebrations, but I'm a smaller white wine glass because on any given day I'll pull out a Prosecco.
Okay.
Or pick up but I just want to sit down and enjoy it. It's not a celebration or anything of that sort. So it'll be a smaller white wine glass kind of thing.
Nice.
It holds a little bit more than the flute as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing.
Tori, you feel the same way? You prefer? Yeah. Okay.
You could send me to my sister's house and I got slap away her stemless wine glasses and champagne flutes.
That's on you, right?
So bring this to me, pal.
What is this?
Savage.
All right. All right. So what do we have next?
Okay. So before we get into getting this experience between the Cab in 2 glasses and the Pinot Noir in 2 glasses, 2 days ago was International Malbec Day.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think we got started with Malbec Day last year. Is it April? Or maybe the month before. But
yeah, that sounds familiar. Yes.
But I think it's only fair that we give a shout out to Malbec. We have a nice house. I think I told this story, but I'll tell the story again about this house and the packaging on this. I thought Chester would have made mention, but I think the packaging might have slipped him. Or is that sleek that it impressed him?
I saw it. I saw it after he opened it, and I got to say something. And then I said, let me see what this is all about.
Okay, super.
It says Trevento, but it looks like $1 million.
Oh, there you go. So we all got our Malbec introduction with Trevento, right? And that Trevento sweet Malbec is no longer a thing for us. But their quality Malbecs is. And we're just excited. Tori and I were in Miami a couple of weeks ago, and I was at a tasting, and when I seen the Trevento, this new label, I said, okay, now this helps us a little bit more with telling the true story of how premium Trevento is as a Malbec. I think we did a superb job at introducing Malbec on the sweet side, and that happens in a lot of markets, right? A lot of Caribbean markets are still on that sweet stuff. We have slowly seen a little bit of a graduation. And I think for those who put this Trevento Golden Reserve Malbec, so they have 2 higher tiers than this, but they also have 3 lower tiers than this. So this is smack in the middle. I think is just a good representation of Malbec, what's happening inside Mendoza and Argentina. But they're big on grilled food, and so are we. We're heading into the summer season. It isn't as big and bold as Cabs and Shirazes. So you can hang around with this in the summer, on the summer barbecue kind of thing. But I just wanted to, give a shout out to Malbec. It's a fun grape. It was almost lost. Argentina saved it, 30, 40 years ago. And now they're making some serious strides. The winery that we have a good relationship with inside Argentina, Santa Julia and Zuccotti, 2 years in a row, 2021 and 22, was named Winery of the Year. Right? And so that just speaks to what's happening inside Argentina and the seriousness in the wine and the wine making. But, back, and we always talk about in the wine world, history, geography, and a little bit of science. Through the movement of people, we took a lot of that European expertise down to South America. And so, what we're experiencing now in Chile and Argentina, I think is a joke compared to what's going to be coming out of there in the next 10 to 15 years. They're going to really be making some noise in the wine world.
So has the perception changed yet with Trevento in this market?
Well, I was just surprised because I didn't even know that we actually got the new label yet. And so that just speaks to the fact that we're selling some Golden Reserve, that we moved out the old label and a new shipment is in with the new label kind of thing. So we're seeing some movement. And we've added maybe 2 or 3 Malbecs in the last 12 to 16 months. So Malbecs is becoming a little bit more of a popular thing.
Did we shame people away from sweet wine? I mean, I know you say it still exists. The market is still around for it. Shows like this, I'm sure, is doing that.
Yeah.
Shaming people?
Yeah. What we want people to know is, there is true quality sweet wine with no added sugar that you can enjoy.
Right.
If sweetness is your thing.
Yeah.
But also to let you know, 20 to 30, yeah, sweet is good. 30 to 40, my palate is changing. 40 to 50, I don't like the sweet stuff. 50 plus, the doctor said.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So,
All right. So Trevento Golden Reserve, when you show up with this at the party, don't judge the people. This is good stuff.
Yeah, just let them, just apologize that the person only know of Trevento sweet. And, challenge them to take advantage of this opportunity to get Trevento quality.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the label already says put some respect on my name.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I don't care what you thought about me. I need you to think something different of me. So we talk about the dark color and the light rim in Malbec.
What are you smelling, Chester? I know you're the nose connoisseur there.
It's a little smoky.
It's fruit.
It's a nice dark mixed fruit.
And then you hit some smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a nice, enjoyable aroma.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the nose is good.
I'm imagining
Sometimes
chocolate. Is it chocolate? Yeah. Okay.
Some mocha stuff, yeah.
Yeah, really, Chester? Okay. That's nice. That's very nice. Very smooth.
It is smooth, and for me, you have that bright acid bite on the side. Yeah, just tells me, hey, you put me on the side of something coming off the grill. I'll show you a better expression of this wine kind of thing.
Yeah, I see that.
Like a steak.
Yeah. Some ribs.
A charred, very crispy top shaped steak.
Yeah. Nice stuff.
But is
nicely done, Trevento.
Is this a typical Malbec profile? Yeah.
You might get a little bit more a deeper concentration of dark fruit character.
Right.
You might get somebody who adds a little bit more of a wood, so that could take away or add a little bit more of that smokiness. But the dark fruit character, medium bodied, bright acidity. It isn't gripping.
Yeah.
And a very enjoyable tannin structure. You might feel it on your gum, but it doesn't grip. It doesn't, dry out the palate or anything.
This was on oak for 12 months.
Okay, there you are.
Okay. So the Malbec should go in your
so Malbec will go in your cab glass. Malbec will go in your cab glass. So we would do the very lightest of reds in the Pinot Noir glass.
Right.
So we would do a Pinot Noir, we would do like a Beaujolais or the Gamay grape, and we can even do like a Chianti out of Italy inside those glasses. Again, those
that
are
may
light
be your
reds.
least used red glass. then.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah.
So, like for me, I think I have 2 Pinot Noir glasses at home, but I got like 8 of red bottle glasses kind of thing, and 4 white wine glasses. But yeah, it'll be your least kind of thing. I won't say go and break the bank for a Pinot Noir glass.
Right.
But have 1 or 2 good ones home.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I gotta go look at my
check the inventory.
And then just for people, it is radio. Describe how the Pinot Noir glass is going to look compared to the Cab glass.
So the Pinot Noir glass is going to have a larger bowl to the bottom and a smaller rim, right? And that's going to be because we're talking about the lighter reds, the delicate reds. We want to get rid of the astringence, but it's going to be less astringency inside the lighter red wines. So we have that larger bowl to kind of allow it, increase surface area so it can go up, but a smaller rim so it doesn't all evaporate so quickly.
Right.
When we get into the bottle glasses, we're talking about a bigger bowl, but also a larger rim. And that's because those wines are astringent, they're big, they're bold. So you want the alcohol or the booziness to blow off. You want the unenjoyable aromas like people describe, like, wet gym bag and all of that, wet cardboard and all that kind of. You want all of that to go. So when you put your nose in this glass, it's like, here's the cassis fruit or the blackberry fruit or the vanilla, and it's enjoyable because you got rid of all of those unwanted scents that, for lack of better words or terms, the average person would think that takes away from the wine, or that this wine smells disgusting, right? But you get rid of that, and then everything else is in there.
Which could start earlier than the glass, because you mentioned, and you didn't bring it.
The decanting.
The decanting.
Super. Right. So a decanting, and I challenge, and I know people listen to the radio, and I also know that we dine out, right? And so we put the pressure on the restaurants and the hotels to do certain things, and so I like to challenge the listeners and the customers to go and do the same thing. But, if you're going to spend $100 on a bottle of wine, 2 things. You want it to be presented in a nice way, right? And you want, for whatever reason, for the service team to know how is it possible for me to get the best expression of this wine. And decanting is one of those things. Traditionally, we're talking about French, cuisine and all that kind of stuff, 13 courses, all paired. When we got to the main courses, we were drinking old wines, 30-year-old wines, 40-year-old wines, 50-year-old wines. And we could appreciate, thousands of compounds in a bottle. Over time, they start to break down and disintegrate, and we end up with, molecules at the bottom. When we want to serve that wine in its best form, it's best for us to keep that sediment to ourselves and only present the liquid. So you would see, Sapodilla still does it, Grey Cliff still does it. They'll come with a nice Garadon table, white tablecloth. They have a candle, it's lit, and they're literally slow pouring over the candle into the larger wine vessel, the decanter, with the light underneath the neck of the bottle, so they can see when there's less liquid going into the decanter, and I can see that my sediment is coming up because I need to keep the sediment in the bottle because I'm pouring the best of the best out of this decanter, which is only the liquid. Keep the junk in the bottle and give the customer the best of the best.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is, it's just as every time we pour a glass of wine, we do a nice little swirl. That's a young wine that might not be expressing all of its true form, right? And so just as we say, we would pour the cab into a larger glass so we can get rid of some of those things, is we want to pour a younger wine into a decanter. Not slowly, but just get it into the decanter. And then we move our decanter around because we're increasing surface area, attracting a little bit more oxygen, and allowing the wine to express itself.
Right.
And then I'm going to pour and serve my wine out of the decanter. So young wines, we just want to wake it up.
Okay.
Right?
So not just for the expensive
No.
bottles.
No. Now you go in some restaurants, I know my friends in Bahamas say, Kyle, you're the problem. And say, yeah, I ain't decanting no $80 bottle of wine. But they will decant it if you ask for it, right? But, it's for us to appreciate the rhyme and the reason. But if you're going to spend anything under $100, I don't make a fuss. If I can spend $100 inside a restaurant, I can ask for a decanter.
Okay.
Now, why wouldn't they do it? Just
a combination of things, right? And especially when we get offered the hotel properties, some restaurants will hold on to 2 or 3 decanters, right? Some restaurants, their wine program isn't as contributing positively to the bottom line yet, as it could be.
Right.
And so their focus would not be on that. But, it's on Tori and I and a few others to kind of nudge them and keep
Why would
them-
they own a decanter per table kind of thing?
Not right now,
Right,
but once their program gets to that
Right,
level,
right.
you can go into Kana and there's pretty much a decanter per table kind
If
of
more
thing.
people ask.
Or if more
Right?
people
Yeah.
ask, and then like, geez, Kyle sending these people, they asking for decanter. I need a decanter. Yeah, I mean, at $100, at 15% gratuity, all of these kind of things, at 300% markup on the wine inside the restaurant, all of these things kind of contribute. You put my wine in a decanter, I'm okay with spending $100 for the wine that I know I could get much cheaper somewhere else, kind of thing.
Okay. So regardless of the price, if you can-
There's rhyme and reason to why we
do
decant.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Now, also, after you decant my bottle, my entire bottle, I got to drink all of it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I wanted to ask you about the wine stoppers and what to do and how to, if you have some left over, what to do with the wine.
Yeah, so I don't think, there's no restaurant that.
Oh, you mean at a restaurant? Or
Well, no, if you're home and you,
you'd put that back into the bottle, or you would do what you should do. You just consume, just consume the wine, right?
How long would you recommend? So you wouldn't recommend just keeping the wine around for a couple of
if it's in a decanter, you have to consume what's in the decanter or put it back in the bottle so you can put a corkage on it. Where you leave it in the decanter and you come back tomorrow morning, it's already gone.
Right.
It's just too much exposure to oxygen.
Okay. So if recorked, how many days you get?
It'll be the same thing. You open a bottle, 2 days to finish it off, kind of thing.
Should you use the cork, or do wine stoppers do anything? Are they helpful?
Well, there's the stoppers where you can pump air into the bottle, which kinds of seals off anything else. So I'm maxing out the amount of oxygen that this wine could interact with.
Right.
So it doesn't speed up, the process of it going bad. There's the carving machine. Usually you find it in restaurants. 1 or 2 wine nose around town have it as well, but it's literally a little thin little pin that goes straight through the cork and the foil. You can take out the appropriate amount of wine that you want, and because the cork is porous, right? As soon as you remove a very thin pin, it's just like your flu shot needle. Once you remove that, the cork closes back up.
All right.
Right, and so you go into nicer restaurants or persons who drink nicer wines at home but don't consume a full bottle of Kima Special Selection in one night. I'll take 5 ounces and I'll leave the bottle and I'll come back. That could keep that wine in tip-top shape for a few months.
Oh, wow.
Or longer.
Sounds
kind
expensive.
Of
Is
thing.
that expensive?
Carving machine, probably about $150. And then a couple of gas cartridges of gas, because that's what happens is it seals off what is left in the bottle, and then the cork closes back up itself. So there's pretty much no way of oxygen getting into that.
Okay.
But yeah, so you'll see people who, a $69 bottle that we would sell to a restaurant, they typically would have that on their by the bottle selection. But using the carving program, they can sell you a glass of that for $35. So, for me, I wouldn't spend 60 or 69 times whatever their markup is in the restaurant. But I would take a sip of it, 5 ounces for $35, based on setting and on occasion.
Okay. All right. So we've got one more here. We're going to try same glass.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're just going to try this Pinot Noir in our Pinot Noir glass, and then we're going to quickly get you in Chester to try it in your Universal and your...
Okay. So we'll see if there is a taste difference.
Most definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So this is our favorite house. When I say house, Pinot Noir, we just recommend it left, right, and center. It just delivers everywhere. It's Simonet for Pinot Noir, right? It's French. Yeah. Burgundy, and it just speaks to everything Pinot Noir. Light, elegant. The color is there. Cool climate, so there's nice acid and everything. And it's, for French Pinot Noir, it's, you go $10, $15, $25, then you go $150. This is here like $15, and it just delivers for a nice entry Pinot. It's very elegant.
It's light and
I want just how the Pinot Noir looks inside the Pinot Noir glass.
The nose definitely changes after a little bit.
After a few sips.
few swirls.
That's very light. Well.
All right. Open it.
Okay. In the right glass. All right, now we're going to do it in the Cabernet glass.
And the mine in the universal soldier.
It almost looks different.
So, see?
that's true.
Now you know why.
Yeah, the bottom, yeah.
Right? So, first thing we're saying is
got
the
darker.
way the Pinot Noir looks inside a Pinot Noir glass is like it should be in the Pinot Noir glass.
Wow.
You get to see color. It looks elegant. Right?
What type of black magic are you
But now
doing?
you put it inside the Bordeaux glass, it even looks darker in color.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't look as sexy inside that glass.
It's very interesting. Okay.
No lie, it tastes different.
It isn't as light. Is that
Right?
That's not possible.
No.
It is.
Right? It's not as light.
That's strange.
No, it's the nature of what happens in the wine world.
Oh wow, we're gonna put the plastics industry out of business. Do not drink your wine in plastic, folks. You got to get the right glass. It makes a big difference.
Okay, I know we just have a few more minutes here, and I know you both gentlemen are very familiar with this Dow Cabernet. So what I want to do is just to get you to try this Dow Cab that you're quite familiar with inside your Pinot Noir glass.
Okay. All right. So the glass we shouldn't be doing it in.
Right. So this is a glass that we should not be drinking the Cab out of.
People say we're having too much fun on the
Are they saying that
radio.
now? On the video? Oh.
We have one person asking about Trevento Sweet Rosé, though.
So,
if you have that.
So the equivalent for the Trevento Sweet Rosé would be the Birds and the Bees Rosé.
Okay.
Or
Pink Moscato.
Pink Moscato, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Spot of that.
Dow.
That's nice. As usual.
Spicy.
Again, yeah.
It's a little spicy.
And Dwight, you getting good. I just put it to my nose and was like, man,
Yeah.
but that spice just hit off
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing. Right? But even just looking at it inside of the Pinot Noir glass, right? This deep Cab looks lighter than it does, right? When you pour it inside your red wine glass, it's like, oh, that's a big glass.
Right.
Cab.
Yeah.
But you put it in there, it's like, oh, we just feminized this Cabernet a little bit inside the Pinot Noir glass kind of thing. Again, we're trapping a little bit of that astringency that comes with Cab inside this glass as opposed to letting it go. But then this is a good glass of Cab.
It's very nice.
This might
It
be,
is very
this
nice.
might be the exception. You put this in plastic, it might do just as well.
So if I were to pour this from this glass to that one, would it immediately make a
Do
difference?
that. Yeah, do that and see.
Let's see.
Wow.
It's just a look. I'm looking there and you can see
This
it's
is
just
crazy. How is this happening? Okay.
The taste, though. The taste is right.
Glass, one is thinner, one is thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one is giving you a lot more surface area. So that's going to affect what we see, what we smell, and what we taste.
It tastes different.
It does taste different.
That's weird.
It does taste
Wow,
different.
I'm so glad. I get my salary was worth it. This is good. We could get paid.
That's
awesome. But so again, and this was just to show, as you get a little bit more serious of a wine culture. It's don't be afraid to go in the restaurant and ask for a bottle of Pinot Noir and ask, by any chance, do you have a Pinot Noir glass? That's going to give you the best expression of that Pinot Noir. You ask for a Cab and ask if you have a Cabernet glass. Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're looking for, though.
Okay, so we talked about it, the spice, right? It's less intense though
in that glass,
in the Cab glass.
Yeah.
Why is that?
The spice of the Cab.
Yeah. Is that the way it's supposed to be, or we just had too many now?
is less in the cab glass.
Yeah,
right. That's why the glass is bigger. Because you want it, so not everybody's going to enjoy that spice like you enjoy that spice.
Right.
Some people's going to take that as an off scent, like
And so
what
this
was that?
allows
So
more of
you
the air out.
more of that
wow.
to release itself.
Okay.
So you could enjoy it a little bit more.
That's pretty cool. The lip on the rim, do.
Yeah.
That's
Now
pretty
when you
cool.
I poured it
the
back in
cab-
the other glass, and it tastes different.
I
It is. I mean, it's really nice. It's very smooth, but this was really spicy in the Pinot glass.
So that smaller rim was trapping some of those things. So the larger rim just allowed it to all get away.
Is it also? Is it the experience happening the same time in the nose
See,
and
now
the
you
mouth?
really going to get us to dive deep. We'll have to come back and put it is because when we get in, and maybe we should speak about that. The proper tasting to get the whole oral factory into play. But the larger glass, right? Technically, for a lot of folks, when they taste, would taste to make certain that their nose gets into the glass as well. Because if you close your nose and taste, you'll get a different experience than if you were to leave your nose open and taste. Oh, jeez. Folks, listeners, I think we can get a little bit more technical this year. It seems like you're making some headway.
And now I realize I need to upgrade my Pinot glasses.
we are not on 101 anymore.
No.
Impressive. That's
almost
impressive.
graduate.
We're gonna
level.
get a certificate after a few months.
All right, this has been fascinating. We have to do a part 2 on this. Definitely, great stuff. Anything special happening over the next few weeks at Bristol?
We're going to get back with what's new in the cellar towards the end of May. We got quite a bit of new wines that's arrived or on the water. Chester was at the Duck On event, so we have
Amazing.
the Decoy limited edition
Amazing
that
stuff.
should be here May, June. We have Chateau Saint Michel from Washington State. Everybody drinks the Riesling and the Cab. Now we're getting a little bit more specific. So that's Columbia Valley in Washington. So now we're getting specific to a particular vineyard. So we got some Indian Wells from Chateau Saint Michel coming straight up to their Luxury Lang Artist Series. So I think the last Thursday in May, we're eyeing to jot that down. But just follow our social media. We're going to roll out a nice summer program. Okay. We're going to connect and partner with the Abacati brothers so we could do an elevated summer soiree. So we look out for when we peg that date between June and July. But outside of that, just stop in one of our retail stores. Our monthly promotions are always going on. I know 19 Crimes, big displays in all of our stores. People are drinking the Cali Gold sparkling like it's water. Yeah. That's pretty good. Chateau Saint Michel Rosé is on sale as we get into rosé season.
Aperol spritz.
Yeah, we got some Aperol spritz, so Spiron and Aperol on promotion, and depending on which store you pop into this Friday, you might be able to see Tori doing this thing with Aperol and Spiron.
Oh yeah,
kind of
mixing
thing.
some drinks. Yeah. Okay.
Giving us some
Which store? Tell us. I mean,
We'll be at Blake Road on Friday from 3 to 6.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Eye-opening experience here in the morning. Kyle and Tori, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. We look forward to talking with you again next month.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to know if all decanters are created equal.
No.
All
They're hand-blown crystals with some nice designs.
Well, there
you can go out and, okay, we got to bring the
We gotta-
decanters
yeah,
next.
we
We got to bring the decanters
next time.
time.
All right. Kyle Stubbs, Tori Saunders, thank you so much. Bristol Wine and Spirits, always a pleasure. Chester, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Seeing you soon.
Just tell the people.
No.
Okay, fine.
That's fine. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, though, with more Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio
miss
and Morning
something?
Blend Business. Inside jokes. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
After a hurricane or storm, get the Nassau Guardian's Hurricane Guide. The guide will tell you where to purchase building and cleaning supplies, waste disposal, medical care, which auto shop to go to after driving through flooded streets, and much more. The Nassau Guardian's Hurricane Guide will help to make sure everyone knows what to do in the event a hurricane approaches and after it departs. Take advantage of this double insertion opportunity plus 15 radio commercials. Contact us today, 302-2300, 302-2300, or call your account executive. Will you be prepared?
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You could win your share of $1,000 and free annual memberships when you apply for your Mobile Assist Visa Travel Rewards Card. It's a prepaid visa that gives you access to travel and online shopping deals worldwide every single day. Enter automatically when you successfully apply through our Mobile Assist app. Use your prepaid visa 5 times or more, and you are automatically entered to win your share of $1,000. See our social media pages for more details. Apply, save, and win with Mobile Assist.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.